Was that your first ball? That wasn't your ball, was it? Was it one of yours?
Yeah, it was. I mean, I don't want to admit it, but.
All right. See.
Well, he's evened out the strikes basically between the two lanes. Right now, he'd like to have all strikes.
I think he's had more problem with the approaches than he has the lane. Lane 34, he's had a lot of approach problems. Other than that, he's made a lot of great shots. Our first look at the young lefty, Mike.
And I guess the lanes are a little bit different for him today, too.
Talking to Jason earlier, he said, all week long I've been playing kind of up the boards around the 5 board. Now I'm going to go like 15 or 18 out to 5. They're hooking a lot more for him today.
Well, we see Steve Hoskins almost do that on the right. Now he does it on the left.
That's amazing. That pin spun around almost 2 full revolutions, it looked like. And they got good bottoms on these Brunswick pins.
And the captain of the PBA ship, the commissioner, Mike Connor,
saying, why didn't that pin fall down? What's going on out there? It's one of my best bowlers. It's supposed to fall down.
That's what Jason said. Why didn't it fall down?
Well, it's a lineup shot for him. He'll throw a strike ball. The important thing for Jason is to get through those first 3 or 4 frames. If he can stay close, maybe even get a lead, but don't make any major mistakes. He's got to stay close to D'Entremont. If he can do that, he's got a good chance to win the championship. If D'Entremont gets away from him with 3 or 4 strikes in a row and Jason were to get an open of some sort, he's going to have a tough row to hoe.
Well, you talk about being aggressive, and he certainly is.
He's a great talent, this young man, and as I mentioned when we started this show, you're going to see a lot of this guy in the future. He's a dedicated player. He works hard at the game, and he's intelligent, and he loves to play it. And we've got all those things going for you. You're going to win some tournaments.
So you got youth going against this experience right here.
Well, D'Entremont is, he's got a lot of things he wants good to happen, too. And one of them is, look, we talked about that bowler of the year. He wants that really bad.
Well, he's captain of the Bowlers Journal All-Star team, All-American team. That's the first hurdle. Needs to win a few more times to achieve that second goal. And there's Jim Shelley, the tournament chairman. His wife, Beth, right next to him. Oh, how did it miss it, Earl?
I don't know, but
it was a bullet coming across.
It was amazing. He had a 710 briefly, and then the head pin just was flying across the lane. We're going to take another look at that. Watch the pin action here. Watch the head pin. The one in the front goes all the way to the wall, comes back across. How did it miss it? I don't understand that either. It's amazing.
Oh, tell you, bullet at the 10 pin.
Every shot makes somebody happy. It made D'Entremont very unhappy, but it made Jason Couch pretty happy.
Yep.
All right, to take the lead for the first time in the match. A strike here would give Jason Couch an early lead. He took a re-rack here. Wants to get him on spot. Okay, here we go. It's a pretty fair average there, Mike. 237 and a third, but it's under his average for the week.
Trying for the double.
Lots of room here. Big hook and a 6-pin.
Just a hair softer with the speed that time, but
he's really what they call opening up the lane. He's trusting the ball and just unbelievably. And we watched him in match play. He was playing more direct last night, even later in the evening. And now he's really hooking the ball, and they're adjusting to what's on the lane surface.
And sometimes that's different from day to day.
No question.
Jason has 2 titles, both from the top spot. Talk to him about why he enjoys it.
Well, you know, it's just one game, and I feel like if I only have to bowl one game to win that title, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to make 12 really good shots, Mike.
Short and to the point, huh? 12 really good shots. Well, he's made 3 real good shots right now, but only has 1 strike.
The important thing is he hasn't made any mistakes. Now, if he can continue like this through this frame and sit down and regroup, he'll be all right.
Well, he likes lane 33.
Here's another look at Jason Couch, 4th frame, and his reaction to that strike. And He's thinking it out. Now he'll sit down. He'll get a chance to take a breather while D'Entremont bowls, and he'll get everything in order, and he'll be ready to go, I think, in the 5th frame. There's that approach problem again, and D'Entremont just can't get into the slide on lane 34. And you remember we saw this happen earlier, and he's just done it again. And this one is more costly. He was on
this cost him 10 pins right here, and he's got to make it now to stay even in the match. In fact, he's going to be behind by a pin even if he does convert it. Wow, what a big shot.
There's another look at the setup, and we'll try to watch his feet as he slides and see if he has any problem. He got through the slide that time.
And got the spare.
2 for 2. Now we're going to take a look at the footwork on the first ball and see what he looks like as he goes into the slide. Remember, this seems to be the problem. He can't slide at times, and I think it's perspiration off his forehead. It's falling in front of his foot, and he's sticking in that perspiration. And it just makes him open up. He can't get through the ball, and it comes off to the right. And if he goes to the right where he's playing, it's not going to come back out of the channel.
Well,
got a lot of courage.
Battles back there. Keeps himself right in the match. Although Jason, it's got to pump him up a little bit to see that.
Well, not only that, but Jason's one of those kind of guys that really concentrates well. He's deep into his own game. For a 25-year-old, he has a lot of presence on the lanes. And I think he's going to make a good shot here. He's made 4 good ones. I think he's going to start swinging some strikes.
Oh, he knew it as soon as he let it go.
Running it out. You know, he's a little high, a little light, and that one was zeroed in. It's kind of like the guys with the lobbing those howitzers at you. One light, one long, and then they get you. And the ball he's got is hitting like one of those mortars.
I'll tell you what. You better move on that 3rd one. Is that what you're telling me?
That's right. You better find another hiding spot, because here comes Jason. And D'Entremont knows it. He's made some mistakes, but he's still in this match. He's gotten away with it twice now. He's thrown the ball in the channel and converted both times. This one could be a lot more costly, though.
Oh, leaves the 3-pin. First time he missed that lane.
It looked like he kind of forced it down the lane there at the foul line. He didn't look like he was in balance. He didn't go through the ball as hard as he normally does. And it's like he was afraid it was going to hook early, and he just forced it down the lane.
I suppose some negative thoughts crept into his mind.
It's almost like a safety shot. Didn't look comfortable. You see him shake his head when he came back.
Kind of like me over a 3-foot putt. Has it. Well, D'Entremont now with a double can even this match. He's got to be thinking about this lane, though, and the approach and everything.
No question. I'm sure it's something that's coming from him. He has a lot of perspiration, and I think that's what's bothering him. Kept it on the lane, but it's not a good shot in the 2-8-10, and that's disaster.
Oh boy!
You can see him looking down. He's shaking his head. It's here's a look at his footwork going to the foul line. This is just. I don't see any problem there, Mike. Probably more fear of sticking now than the actual happening.
And the open frame there. There we see the score. Trailing by 22 pins, D'Entremont with 4 frames left to go. The AMF point standings, we see Duke on top and D'Entremont right there. Real good names right there.
Oh, Amleto Monticelli. It's been a while for Amleto since he's bowled well, but he's still a tremendous talent. Here's another look at D'Entremont, and he seems to have completely lost his composure, Mike. He's not comfortable out there, and I've had it happen to me. I'm sure it's happened to you. Something will bother you, and you can't seem to get around it. You can't seem to avoid that thing, and it stays in your mind, and all of a sudden you're not confident, and you are starting to aim the ball rather than free swing it and let it go.
Well, it's we talk about old Big Mo, and momentum now all in Couch's favor.
Well, and again, Jason is not that far out front. 22-pin lead, a lot of frames to play. He still has 4 frames to play. He has to stay aggressive, and he's got to keep the ball in the pocket area. You can't afford any mistakes. Lots gets a rotation and doesn't get it back, and he got a break. Only the 3-pin. That could have been something of the nature of a right-hander's 2-8-10. The 3-7-9 was there briefly, very briefly, but that's where you get it, from that very light hit, and the ball comes in at that extreme angle.
A little double dribble there. Did you hear that?
Sounded like it to me, and his reaction here, you can see the follow-through, and he doesn't like it already, and he's thinking, uh-oh. Thank you very much.
At the 3-pin. Fills the frame. Come on, he says to himself.
Trying to pump himself up. Yeah, he's feeling that he's got a good chance to win this tournament. He's 21 pins ahead, 3 frames to play. Don't give it away now. Get out there and work. You got to get yourself pumped. All these players talk to themselves. You can see the perspiration on D'Entremont's face, and he's wiping it off.
What's he saying to himself right now?
He's still in the match. All I got to do is make good shots. I'm still in this match. Couch hasn't been able to put him away, so.
That's smoother. Ooh, and the solid 7.
He was running it out. He knew he'd made a good shot there. He gets up on his toe when he releases the ball, but he still gets tremendous revolution and a lot of leverage. Cross lane at the 7-pin. Changes bowling balls. You see most of the pros do. A lot of ball speed. All right, this is the turning point in the match, in my opinion. The 8th frame, Dave D'Entremont on lane 34, the lane he's had the most problem with as far as the approach is concerned. If he can get a strike here, he's definitely in the match.
Kind of pump him up for the 9th frame.
He's got to have this one. It's the best shot he's made there for a long time. And it went high, the big 4. Just a little soft with the ball speed. Mike, what do you think?
So he's saying, hey, to himself, 2-8-10, double pinochle, you know, no area is what he's probably saying to himself.
That's right, but all of his problems seem to stem from the foul, from the approach. He'll throw this one about 180 miles an hour and miss them all. Well, he got one of them.
Well, he got one of them, but basically he's into the match. We take a further look at the AMF point standings in our 3rd page with Moser there, Dave Arnold, Joe Firpo, who was on our telecast tonight.
There's Dennis Jakes, a name from the past, kind of. He's back bowling very well again.
And our top 20 make it in. We see that David Ozio is right there at the 20th position. Danny Wiseman at 19th. Also, the first 4 winners on the fall tour make it in, along with the defending champion, John Mazza. They make it into the Dick Weber Classic Bowling Tournament in Richmond.
And that's fast becoming one of the favorite tournaments for the players, because basically the money is tremendous, plus the fact that it's only 20 guys or something like that, and they get a chance to bowl with the best players in the world, all in one, you might say, an exclusive group of players.
Jason basically needing, what, 2 marks to lock it up?
Well, he wants a strike really bad right here.
Solid 7. 2 flush hits the last 2 times. Needs to convert it.
With the spare and any kind of decent count, Mike, he's the winner.
Tenth frame, going at a 2:06 pace.
I'll tell you what, neither one of these players, if you were to ask them just before this match started, thought 2:06 was going to win this match, or anything in that 190 to 2:0 category. They both would have told you, well, if I can shoot 240, I got a good chance. I'm sure of that. Jason Couch. You see the graphic, 8 pins to lock up the match, the championship.
Ooh, that's not 8.
It's not 8, and we're still got a match. This is not an easy spare. That puts him with a possible, if he gets 9 out, 191, which would still win the match. But if he were to get 8 of these, we could have a tie.
D'Entremont would still have a chance.
He needs 9 to win.
Wow.
Three of these 4 pins to win the tournament.
Suppose he knows that? Do you think he knows that?
I'm sure he knows it. He's going to try to make the spare, no question about that. But any 3 will win the tournament.
And he got all 4 of them.
Well, they made it exciting. There's no question about that. And D'Entremont, I'm sure, is very disappointed young man, because he really wanted to win this one badly. No question, he wanted an opportunity to be in the running for Bowler of the Year, and a 3rd win would have put him right there. Jason Couch, this puts him in a position to maybe to get into that Weber tournament.
Jason Couch is our winner. We'll be back to talk to him, as he seems pretty excited about the whole thing. Right after these messages, stay with us, please.
For the very best in professional building materials, it's Nord.
And our winner. A struggle out there.
I tell you what, Mike, it had to be the worst game I bowled all week, but it was enough.
Well, we've got some people who want to make some presentations to you. Keith Hamilton here, the president of Luby Publishing.
Jason, congratulations on a fine week of bowling and an outstanding championship match. On behalf of the entire staff at Bowlers Journal International, we are proud to present you with this first place check in the amount of $18,500. Congratulations.
Thank you, Keith. Thank you very much. I'd like to thank Bowlers Journal for sponsoring the event this week. You know, it's just glad that we're glad they stepped up. You know, we needed a sponsor here, and they did a great job. And I'd also like to thank the people at ABC West. I'll be back next year. I'll be the first one in the door.
And speaking of ABC West, we got Gary Bauer here, the president of ABC Lane.
Jason, it's a pleasure for my family and all the employees here at ABC West Lanes to have you as our champion to present you with this unique award. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I tell you what, Mike, was that the ugliest final game you've ever seen?
No, it wasn't, but we're running out of time right now, Jason. We've got to say goodbye for Earl Anthony. This is Mike Durbin saying so long. And don't forget, next week, it's the PBA Senior Championship. Next week. And stay tuned for Baseball Tonight with Carl Ravitch and Dave Campbell.